Hello everyone, welcome aboard. So again, we have brought you the next lecture of current affairs, and this has been brought to you by Himalai IAS. And today we will be looking at the current affairs of 25th of September. So let's get started. So today again, as we all know, our Prime Minister is on the US trip, and there are everyday news coming about India-US relations. So let's take a look at some of the things. So Indian Prime Minister met the US President in the Oval Office. Okay, so here I want you to remember that Oval Office is the office of American President. Like you have Rashtrapati Bhavan for Indian President. Okay, you have Das Janpath, which is the office of Indian Prime Minister. You have 10 race course, which is the office of British Prime Minister. Similarly, Oval Office, always remember it is office of US President. It's of oval shape. That's why it is called so. Then both the leaders talked about expanding relationships. So what are the things, if you have to write, let us say, what are the prospects of India-US relation? So as of now, we are focusing on people's participation. Okay, people to people contact. See, India has a lot of workforce. We all know that a lot of people here take H1B visa and they go and they provide their technical skills to United States. So that is one. Then climate change, that's an important part. We all know that in the past, US has opted out of the Paris climate deal, which is not good, right? Because climate change is something not one country can take care of. The whole world has to come together. Then COVID-19 has created many disruptions in the global supply chain, plus the international relations as well, right? So the changes which have came because of that, and the security and freedom of trade of Indo-Pacific region. So US is also focusing on this area. You have something called Quad, which is the alliance of India, United States, Japan, and Australia. And here there is, assertive China or rising China is the threat which can threaten the trade, global trade, which passes through this region. That's why the security of this region is very important for both the countries. Plus, we also talked about bilateral trade relations, where what are the services or goods which can be exchanged or the tariffs can be lowered between both the countries. So these are the broad headings. If you were to write about India-US relations, like what are the prospects? Here, one more thing, Indo-Pacific region. So some of you must be new to it. So just have a look. You will read about this term a lot, in the international relation, in the newspapers, in the current affairs. So this is the Indo-Pacific region. This is Indian Ocean and this is the Pacific Ocean. Here is US and here is in the Eastern Indian Ocean, this is India. So this is the region which is being referred to as Indo-Pacific. The Quad is an alliance of Australia. Here is Australia. This is Japan. Sorry, this is Japan. Okay, this is US and here is India. Indo-Pacific region, these four countries have created a coalition which is known as Quad as well. So keep that in mind. Next item today, HC's remarks on EWS quota set aside. So actually Supreme Court has said that the High Court, Madras High Court remark can be set aside. That's not important. What is important is you should understand what's the issue, what is the EWS quota. EWS stands for economically weaker section. Okay. So basically what is the issue? Issue is about the reservations in the medical entrance examination, where government has decided that 27% reservation will be provided to the candidates belonging to backward classes. From where this reservation comes into the picture. So in the polity, you'll be reading the fundamental rights. In the fundamental rights, there is Article 15. Okay, Article 15 says that prohibition of discrimination on the basis of class, caste, gender, or place of birth. Similarly, Article 16 is about equal opportunities in the matter of public employment. So these two have some certain clauses which allows the reservation to be done. So reservation earlier was only available for SC and ST. Mandal Commission reports in 1990s that came about the reservation of OBC. Now, this EWS reservation has been inserted by 103rd Constitutional Amendment Act. Do remember that it has made changes to Article 15 and 16, and it has provided reservation for whom? it has now provided reservation for economically weaker sections of the society apart from SC, ST. So see, SC usually they have like 16% reservations plus ST, their population is 8%, so they get almost 8% of reservation. As per the backward classes reservation, that is about 27%. Now, this roughly equates to somewhere around 50% of total reservation. Now, EWS has been added to it, and for EWS, 10% reservation has been given. Now, the challenge is, as per Indra Swahni case, judgment in 1992, this is the judgment of Supreme Court, they have said that total reservation cannot exceed more than 50%. And that is the issue which is being decided by or being looked upon by the court as of now, that if you calculate all of this, now total reservation is how much? 60%, right? So as per Supreme Court's own judgment, that reservation cannot exceed 50%. So this is what courts are looking at. And this is the background story about it. So do remember that we already have reservation by what? By Article 1516 by means of now 103rd Constitutional Amendment Act introduced reservation for whom? EWS. How much? 10%. Now this has been done that government believes that it will help the marginalized sections of the society. But as per Indra Swani case, total reservation cannot exceed more than 50%. That's what is being looked upon by the court as of now. Okay, moving to the next complex count. It's about the caste census, and there was another article about the FDI. So let's take a look at both of them one by one. So caste census, I told you in the last lecture as well. So we have census, that is nothing but counting of population. Last it was done in 2012. Every 10 years, census is taken. Okay, so that we know what is the growth of population and how we can make better policies. So that's basic data for the government. Now, as of now, there is a debate going on where people are saying that we must include caste related data. See, caste related data is already being included for SC and ST. But for the backward classes, that data is not available. And in order to, reduce the caste consciousness, government already, by 1951, government deliberately it decided to do away with the caste census policy. So this caste census data, if it is being taken, so as of now, what is happening in the census? Only the information about SC and ST is taken up. Okay, only SC and ST, the information is taken up, and not about the backward classes. Reason is, see, backward classes are very complex in India. The thing is, like, some caste which are called backward in one state, they are not backward in other state. In some places they are dominant caste, but in some places they are actually backward caste. Plus the central government is saying that this is administratively very difficult to include as of now, the data about the backward classes. That is why government of India will not be including the backward classes caste information in 2021 census. Okay, so it will not be a caste census. Also, the idea of caste census is against the casteless society which we want to achieve. Okay, so these are some of the disadvantages. Now, what is the advantage if we do it? Okay, so if you have caste related data, so as we know, it's a social reality in India. Okay, till now, the many things they keep revolving around caste, and the caste based action program can be taken. As we are doing it for SC and ST, same things can be done for the backward classes as well. But we are discouraging it as a matter of policy. So these are both the sides of the coin. So if you were to analyze, you can write about the pros as well as you can write about the cons of this policy. Moving to the next article, it was about the foreign direct investment or FDI in India. So article basically it's talking about that, see, India is getting FDI, but it is not resulting into the good employment. So that's what it is trying to review. So this will give you an analytical view. So let's discuss these points. So first thing, that is a fact that unemployment rate in India, it has increased from 7 to, this is 9 actually. in August 2021. 2 million jobs, about 20 lakh jobs have been lost. Mostly they are farm jobs. Okay. Non-farm jobs has increased, means apart from agriculture sector like business and small trade, that their job has increased, but manufacturing has shrunk. So if you will read the basics of economics, you will know that half of our population is engaged in agricultural activities, 25% of our population is engaged in manufacturing activities, and rest 25 in service sector. Here, the jobs in manufacturing are not enough. These are the jobs we have to increase. Okay. Seasonal labor, agriculture in India, we know that there is a sowing season, then there is a harvest season, and in between there are, the relaxed periods when the farm laborers or agriculturalists in India, they move to some small jobs like construction sector and all. Why they do that? Because there are lack of employment in manufacturing and high end sector, and which is a cause of concern. If we want to grow, if we want to develop, then we need to take people out of agriculture and push them into manufacturing and high end jobs, not these informal jobs like construction labor. Okay. And how can we do that? Raising investment in this. So now investment can be of two types, right? This is again the basics of economics. It can be public investment. See, public investment is when government put money. Government of India says that it is going to construct a road. That's a public investment in infrastructure. Then private investment. See, government alone doesn't have that much money that it can, bring all the investment into the economy. That's why we need private investment, like companies or individuals. It might be domestic, it might be foreign. So domestic investment, private investment is also being complemented with foreign direct investment. What is the foreign direct investment? When somebody creates an asset in India, let's say some outside company like Walmart is opening a factory in India, that is known as FDI. If some outside company, let's say Tiger Global, it is just coming and investing into the Indian stock market, that is not known as FDI. That's the difference between FDI. FDI, you will open up a factory in India. What will happen? There will be some development, there will be some jobs. If some company is just putting money to the stocks, there will not be any jobs, right? So FDI is that type of investment. Now, what this article is trying to say, we are trying to promote FDI. How? By promoting ease of doing business. Okay, let's move to the next slide. We are trying to increase the jobs by increasing FDI, but in all the sectors, it is not working perfectly. For example, automobile. All of you must have heard about the Ford. The Ford company has decided to leave or exit India, which is not a very good thing. Okay. Are we totally responsible for this? No. See, there are many reasons in various sectors like COVID disruptions. Then for supply of semiconductors in the manufacturing, almost everything is going towards electronics, and you use some sort of, semiconductors in all the devices, be it your vehicles or, factory equipment. And this, for that supply, we are totally dependent on China. So that is a challenge. And these multinational companies like Ford, they shift in the global supply chain pattern. So if manufacturing in India, it is cheap, they will keep their factories in India. When it becomes cheap in, let's say, Philippines, they will move their production to Philippines. So we need to take account of all those things when we are trying to promote FDI. That's what this article's core argument is. That, see, unemployment is a challenge. We need to increase employment. How can we do that? By bringing more investment. What type of investment? Government investment has to be supported with private investment. In private investment, it has to be domestic plus foreign investment as well. And when we bring in foreign investment, we must also think about the other concerns. Now, moving to the next, it's about, again, AUKUS. We have seen it in the last lecture as well. It's a new grouping which has been created by Australia, UK, and the US. Okay. So it's a new security pact between Australia, United Kingdom, and USA. And under this, the UK as well as the US will transfer the technology of nuclear submarine to Australia. Very few countries in the world have it. It provides a third strike capability to all the country. What is a third strike capability? It's like, you have nuclear deterrence. Means if somebody has a nuclear weapon, you are not going to attack that country. Why? Because in the worst case scenario, they might retaliate with the nuke, which will be very disastrous. Now, Nuclear have, for these nuclear deterrence, they have three types, which is first strike capability. So first strike is like you have developed a nuclear weapon by your aircraft. You can drop the weapon. Let us say a country which decides to invade you, they will just destroy all your aircraft carriers and bases in the first go. Second strike capability is intercontinental ballistic missile, which can be launched from one place. It can travel to 3 to 5,000 kilometers and it can destroy its target. Then the third strike capability is having a nuclear submarine. If both the first and second strike capabilities are not working, then you will be having a submarine sitting somewhere in the ocean, which nobody will be knowing of. And if such a scenario comes, they will launch the nuclear attack. Now, this has created mixed feeling for India. Why mixed feeling? See, first thing is good, because I showed you in the earlier slides that Indo-Pacific region, we are trying to, keep it free for global trade. We don't want any country like China to create issues for us. So if Australia becomes a country having nuclear submarine, that will counter China. So that is something which is good for India. But what is problematic for India? Two things. One, in the Indian Ocean region, apart India has nuclear submarine. We just took it from Russia. China has nuclear submarines. Now even Australia will be having nuclear submarines. So in our backyard, in our neighborhood, it's a problem for us if all these countries are equipped with nuke. Second, India is aligning with Australia as well as USA and Japan in the Quad. Now this new grouping takes the focus out of Quad. So what was the need for it? Or couldn't we just have done it in the Quad forum? Why there is a need for new grouping? That is again a problem or concern for India. Third thing, France has actually, didn't like this AUKUS, and it has called its ambassadors from UK and US back. Reason being, France was supposed to finalize a deal where it was selling a nuclear submarine to Australia, but they have lost this deal. And also France is a NATO ally of the US and UK. So without consulting your security ally or military ally, how they can go ahead and start selling something which this guy was already selling to Australia to them? That's why France is not very happy. India is already having trade relations with France. All of you know about Rafale. We have bought it from France. And there is also Project 75 where we are developing submarines. You would have heard about Kalaveri, Khanderi, all these submarines. 6 Scorpion class submarines are being developed by France in India under Project 75. So these are the challenges for India. That's why it's a mixed feeling. Good feeling because it's countering China. Bad feeling why it was not done in Quad or Indian Ocean region. It will be filled with many countries who will be having a nuclear submarine at their disposal. Plus, how India can balance its relationship with France and with the Quad countries as well. So this is the overall analysis of this AUKUS organization. Next article of today, it's about Ministry of Defense has done a deal with Airbus. See, Airbus is aircraft making company, another being Boeing. Airbus is a company from Spain. Okay, so MOD has signed a deal with Airbus from Spain for 56 C-295 MW military transport aircraft. Okay, this will be for the very first time that they will be manufactured in India under technology transfer. We have done technology transfer, but only public companies like HAL has created it or DRDO has created it. For the first time, this will be done by a private sector company, which is Tata Advanced System Limited. So do remember that Airbus selling which aircraft? C-295 MW. Which company is doing it? Tata Advanced System Limited. Moving to the next, Quad will find no support. So this is just a statement by China. I told you Quad is to counter China's assertion or China's ambitions in the region. That's why China doesn't like it. China says Quad will not find support from international community. Quad is an alliance of India, Australia, Japan, and US targeting trade security in the Indo-Pacific region. I already showed you in the map. Quad has taken certain initiatives to remember that, like Quad vaccines, where they will be supplying vaccines to these countries. Plus, they have taken an initiative called supply chain semiconductors as well. The last news item for today is economy on sustained revival path that has been said by the Finance Minister of India. COVID has given many disruptions to the Indian economy. As of now, Indian economy is on the revival path. How can we say that? See, whenever in your answer writing or whenever you are in the interviews, when you say something, you need to support it with the evidence. How can we say that economy is on the revival path? The evidence is GST collection has increased, direct tax collection has increased. That means the people's income are increasing. That's why tax is increasing. We have also seen stock market is growing up. So Nifty is going on its all-time high as of now, and this has happened because of transparency in the listing of companies plus related regulation. So who is the regulator for the stock market? This is part of your economics. You will be reading about it in your economy classes. The financial market plus also the direct and indirect tax. See, direct tax is like income tax, which is directly at the point of earning. GST is type of indirect tax, which you'll be paying, but indirectly to the government. The stock market or the financial market is a place where companies raise fund. So there is primary market. When you hear about IPO, that like LIC is about to launch its IPO, initial public offering. So that is the first time when the company goes public, and it create various ownership of it and sells it to the customers. Then those customers, they keep trading those shares in the secondary market. So when you hear about the share price of Tata is going up, that is in the secondary market. When IPOs gets launched, that is in the primary market. And who regulates all these activities? That is SEBI. So do remember that, Security and Exchange Board of India. Okay. So that was all for today's lecture, guys. Hope all of you have liked the session. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And we'll be seeing you again tomorrow with the new current affairs. So thank you for watching. Thanks a lot.